Wait, you're a Bears fan and you're not subscribed to my channel? Before this video starts, make sure to 1. Hit the subscribe button below to catch all Bears content right here on this podcast. 2. Hit the bell notification because you, my friend, are a diehard Bears fan. And 3. Like this video and tell all the Bears fans you know about the channel. Alright, that's better. Now that you're actually subscribed to the channel, make sure to bear down and enjoy this video.
Now this is a podcast all about Bears. You either cheering for this team or just pulling your hair. I like to take a minute, just sit right back and tell you how I became the #1 Bears fan. That boy is Benny Hunter. Cake on the mic, cake on the mic, cake on the mic, cake on the mic. People, this the intro. Sacramento, California, born and raised. And Antelope is where I spend most of my days. You talk bad about my team, you must be a clown. This is Keek on the mic, so you know you better bear down. Bear down, bear down.
So, Bears fans, we are back and ready to go for an all-new episode right here of Keek on the Mic. And I'm here to tell you that as the Chicago Bears get closer and closer to finishing up their interviews for both GM and head coach, the finalists begin to come, the second interviews begin to come, and it has begun. So, going around in Chicago, the reports are that Colts defensive coordinator Matt Eberflus will get a second interview on Monday, which makes him a finalist to be the Chicago Bears' next head coach. And let me tell you guys know how I feel about this candidate. He's definitely not that sexy candidate that everyone wants, but I do have to give him his props in terms of what he's been able to do as a defensive coordinator, especially with the Colts. So let's look at his resume. Let's talk about Matt Eberflus. Who is this guy? So he started out as the Missouri defensive coordinator from 2001 to 2008. From there, he was the Cleveland Browns linebacker coach from 2009 to 2010. Then became the Dallas Cowboys linebacker coach from 2011 to 2017. And now he has been the Colts defensive coordinator since 2018. He is 51 years old. And you guys probably seen my past podcast. This guy doesn't get me excited. I personally don't want a defensive head coach. And if we do hire a defensive head coach, what is their plan to develop Justin Fields, right? But this was expected. Eberflus has been a hot commodity around the league to be a head coach eventually, dating back to last season. So coming into this offseason, this was the expected move for a lot of NFL teams to be hot on Matt Eberflus. And to me, the proof is in the pudding because as of right now, he's now a finalist to be either the next Chicago Bears head coach or the Jacksonville Jaguars head coach. So obviously, people are liking what they're seeing from Matt Eberflus. And the one thing I can say about Eberflus is what he has been able to do with the Colts defense is actually pretty remarkable. In his first year as the Colts defensive coordinator back in 2017, he took a Colts defense that was ranked 29th and turned them into the 11th best defense in his very first year. And if you guys ever watch the Colts defense, it's not a defense that he blitzes a lot. He expects to get home with 4 rushing and keeping everything in front of them. So he doesn't take a lot of risk. He puts his players in good position. And I know what you guys are going to say about this podcast. This is not me trying to endorse Matt Eberflus to be the next Chicago Bears head coach. You guys all know who I want. You guys all know who I like, and that is Brian Daboll, the Buffalo Bills offensive coordinator. But I do have to get Matt Eberflus his props in terms of what he has been able to do as a defensive coordinator for the Colts. And this, like I said, is the expected move. He will get a head coaching job. And obviously, both the Jaguars and the Bears see something special in Matt Eberflus to give them that second interview and for him to be a finalist for both teams' head coaching position. So this is what the Colts head coach Frank Reich had to say about Matt Eberflus and his opportunity to become a future head coach. I would fully endorse and support anyone who ever called and asked me about Flus as a man, as a leader, and as a coach. He is a worthy candidate. Obviously, I don't want to lose him, but I'm happy for him and support him in this opportunity. So that was Colts head coach Frank Reich on Eberflus, and that's what I've been hearing around the league. That's the reports and rumors going around about the type of coach Matt Eberflus is. It's all positive. It's all that he knows how to lead a group of guys. He's praised for his leadership style and being detail-oriented and he connects well with players and coaches. Would that lead him to wins and being successful with the Chicago Bears? We won't know unless the Chicago Bears hire him and we see him as a head coach, right? But although Eberflus isn't one of the more attractive candidates, right, for head coach, his success as DC is impressive. And I'm not sitting here. I'm going to repeat this until I'm blue in the face. I really don't want any defensive coordinator, right? I want an offensive guy that's able to develop the offense and develop Justin Fields and get him to that next level. But it's also kind of exciting and kind of intriguing to realize the success that Eberflus has had with the Colts defense. And it's kind of intriguing what he would be able to do with guys like Khalil Mack, Robert Quinn, right? Roquan Smith, especially knowing he gets the most out of his players. And obviously the big question in all these interviews is the plans of developing the offense and developing Justin Fields. And that goes for all defensive coordinators and probably all offensive coordinators as well. But obviously Eberflus had a really, really, really good answer, and he left an impression off the McCaskey family, as he will now get a second interview to become the next Chicago Bears head coach, which makes him the first of hopefully many finalists. I'm hoping later this week or later next week we get the report saying that Byron Leftwich and Brian Dable will also be head coaching finalists. But at the moment, this is the first known finalist, Matt Eberflus, Colts defensive coordinator, and we will see what happens. So, like always, comment down below and let me know how you guys are feeling about this. Would you guys like Matt Eberflus to be the next head coach of the Chicago Bears, or are you looking for someone that's more of an offensive mind to ensure that hopefully Justin Fields gets to the next level? Let me know down below in the comment section. But before I let you guys go, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the bell notification to catch all Bears content around the podcast. Make sure you follow me on all my social media platforms, and make sure you share this episode of Kick on the Mic with every single Bears fan that you know. But other than that, I'll be back for an all-new Bears podcast right here on Kick on the Mic. Thanks, guys, and bear down.
You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't Kick on the Mic. You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't Kick on the Mic. You can go and subscribe